I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Ann Arbor is our quaint town in Michigan. We know and love our downtown, proudly rep our sports team, and revel in the city's thriving music scene. Recently, the Tubi Ann Arbor Prime travel show Lost In highlighted some of Ann Arbor's top spots. Watch.
Lost In shows off the hidden gems and the people behind them. So my name is Christian Stevenson, aka DJ Barbecue. I'm the host of Lost In, and we travel the world looking for wonderful towns to get lost in. We do like 3 to 5 days in each town. We eat, drink, go into the music scene, culture, history. We dive in. We have been to the Big House. We also spent the day at Zingerman's. I got to drive a 1967 GT 350 Shelby around to get to the Blue Llama, which is where we are right now. Hanging out with my old friend Chef JJ, who I met at a festival in England, and then I went to his restaurant in Harlem. And the fact that they have one of the best jazz clubs / restaurants in the world here in Ann Arbor. And I've traveled, I've been to a lot of restaurants, and this is easily one of the best, and I love his food. If you're watching this in Ann Arbor, but you've got family somewhere else and it's a really cool town, like, tell us where to go. We're looking for those hidden gems. We're looking for those cool towns that we can get lost in.
Get updates on the new season of Lost In and the episode in Ann Arbor on Instagram at LostIn_series. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. Habitat for Humanity Huron Valley is raising up neighborhoods one garden bed at a time with community cleanups. Watch as volunteers work hard to transform an area in desperate need of repairs.
Today we are in the Sugarbrook neighborhood doing our very first Spring Beautification Day in the community. So this is an exciting event where we are working at multiple sites throughout the community. We've got over 30 volunteers here.
We are putting mulch in, we're getting rid of stuff you don't have in your home. You don't want to keep, bring it. We putting mulch down, flowers down, we building a wall with bricks. Also, we building a library down at the hub. But let me tell you, this is such a great need. We have wonderful volunteers. Look, we're strong today.
We really encourage everybody to, come out and get involved in your local community, and Habitat's a great way to do that. You can really pick from a lot of skill set areas.
Working together, connecting together, being together as a family. That's what I consider Humanity for Habitat for this particular project on today.
We have the ability to, strengthen communities and make them more sustainable and increase the quality of life for people that live here.
For more on Habitat for Humanity Huron Valley and all their rewarding programs, visit h4h.org. The road is meant to be shared to keep motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians safe. We all need to play our part and pay attention to the signals and fellow travelers. Learn how to safely navigate city streets as a pedestrian in this month's City Roundup in 60.
I'm Sergeant Mark Pulford with the Ann Arbor Police Department. I'm here today to talk about pedestrian safety. Whether you're outside on a beautiful day like today, walking to class, or crossing the street to get to your favorite coffee shop, pedestrian safety is a shared responsibility. Here are a few simple tips to help keep you safe. The first one is always use a crosswalk. They're here for a reason, and they provide a space so that you can get across the street safer. Always look both ways. I know, it sounds simple, but don't rely on the traffic signals. Look what traffic's doing. Stay visible. Wear bright clothing, especially at nighttime, and make eye contact when possible with the drivers before you cross. Don't be distracted. Put your phone down, take out your earbuds. Obey the traffic signals. Pedestrian signals are there for a reason, and they help guide you across the street. Remember, we all share the roadway, so it's all of our responsibility. Thank you for listening today, and stay safe, Ann Arbor.
The season of arts officially starts in June with the Ann Arbor Summer Festival with music, movies, and over-the-top performances to enjoy with friends, family, and loved ones, creating unforgettable memories to last a lifetime. Joining me is Mike Michelon, Executive Director of the Ann Arbor Summer Festival, here to give us the details on the 2025 A2SF. Welcome back to the show, Mike.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
You've been with the festival for a long time now, and you've seen it grow and evolve over time. What are you excited about for the 2025 Ann Arbor Summer Festival?
Yeah, change, positive change is a constant, and there's a great lineup this year. I mean, I think I'm always most excited for the race to opening night, and it always feels like a big reunion in town, I think, to kick off summer.
Yeah, I mean, the opening night's so cool, and it's really like you need to know when it starts because it's really not as long, like the top of the park part isn't as long as you think it's going to be, and you don't want to miss it, like where you're all of a sudden like, oh no, there's only like 2 days left and I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, we hope people plan around us, and we're also there when you're thinking of something to do, and you can wander on over.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like you go out to dinner or something and you're like, hey, let me go check it out. That's the cool thing about it is that you can just wander right on over there when you're downtown Ann Arbor.
Yeah, Washtenaw County residents really have a jewel in their backyard. I mean, all of our arts and culture peer organizations for sure as well. And I think there are, depending on where people are in life, sometimes with kids or busyness, sometimes it plays a starring role in people's summers. Other times it doesn't, but people can count on it being here and know to pop on by and take part.
Do you want to tell us about maybe some of the top of the park music acts that we'll see this year?
Yeah, so there's a really wonderful lineup performing on two stages at top of the park, the Rackham and the Grove stage. And so in the early evening hours, in the 5 to 7 range, there are shows happening in this really lovely setting beneath the trees before the action kind of moves over to the Rackham stage. Um, Touching, I think, nearly every genre, tons of musical styles, a lot of local favorites as always, and nationally touring groups that we get to host here in Ann Arbor on their way to somewhere else. And so a couple of highlights. I know this has ended up being a year of a lot of brass bands in a funny way, including Chicago-based Mukapaza that uh, came over a decade ago to Top of the Park, and they combine marching band traditions and kind of rock sensibilities, and so that's going to be a really great opening weekend show where they'll play in the lawn a little bit before heading to stage for a full set. Um, Really great lineup, hard to pick favorites, but I know that people won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's always smart to look at the calendar because there's so many people, so many acts that, some of them you want to mark your calendar so you're not missing the ones that you like. I also think it's cool to like go there and experience music that you haven't heard before. And I also like the fact that you can bring your kids and they can hear music because they're like so locked in. You have kids, they're so locked into like, I only like this or I only like that. And I think it's great to just sort of expand their mind musically.
Yeah, and there's always a ton of really danceable, joyful stuff happening, and then there's moments where you're there and it's a Tuesday and you're seeing Veronica Swift this year as an example, who's this powerhouse jazz vocalist, and you're like, that's on June 25th, and I actually don't know what day of the week that is, but the point is, you look up and you're realizing I'm seeing this really awesome show that I just stumbled upon, and people get hopefully tremendous value from it, and we know the community at large does.
Yeah, I and the dancing part is so much fun. I don't know like other people how they feel about it, but I that's like one of my favorite things to do when I go down there is just like listen to whoever's playing and dance with my kids.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us about the retreat series this year? Is there any yoga, different things that you have going on?
Yeah, always. So for people that are uninitiated, this is our mind body series that take place in another great setting in beneath the trees in front of the power center on the lawn. And we in recent years moved it to a 5:30 start time, so it's kind of a another happy hour opportunity for people post work to really to move. And there's a lot of studios in town. There's great practitioners. All the sessions are free, and you get to try out a bunch of studios and teachers as well if you're looking to um, uh, make that part of your regular routine. And so I think that that series this year touches a lot of different traditions and certainly Pilates, yoga, etc. And all really great experienced teachers.
Yeah, I agree. It is a great chance to try out different stuff without having to, pay to go in the door, pay for a month or something and see if you like it. You can try out different sort of movements and see what's for you. There's no beating that outside, doing it outside.
Yeah, absolutely. So a great late afternoon option before heading over to the rest of Top of the Park.
And then what about Kids Zone series? Most of us or a lot of us bring our kids and they expect to have some activities to do while they're there other than just dancing with their mother.
Yeah, so we of course love the Kids on a series, really serving families, and over time the way that we've seen that we've tried to make that series grow is to feature a lot more hands-on creative activities and experiences, really high quality. And so there's a great lineup there. I do want to shout out closing night that will be special because there is a trio of face painters that'll be there with some musical performance taking place inside the Kid Zone. And so, really great way to close out the festival season. But we have all of these partners locally in Ann Arbor that do great work, and we work with them to come up with a really great kid focus activity every night of Top of the Park.
Is
And so
that Copper Tom that you're talking about?
Copper Tom for those, and Copper Tom is great and has made the rounds. A lot of people with kids that had kids, younger kids or have kids now know Copper Tom, and we're glad to have
He's
him join.
also a CTN staple. He's been doing stuff
I
at
didn't know
CTN
that.
for a
Okay,
long
great.
time. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
actually I am the producer of our Santa show, and one year we made a music video with him for with a Christmas song. It was very special and cute.
Oh, wonderful. And so we're looking forward to having Copper Tom. One of the changes that we have made this year are an earlier start time on Sundays for with families in mind. And so moving that up to 4 p.m. an hour earlier to try and capture more people with, challenging nap schedules and things. And so there's all the great things that are happening in the Kids Zone, but now food vendors will be open. There'll be music happening an hour early, and there are certainly plenty of all age activities outside of Kids Zone. So David Zinnick Force coming back, and our Kids Rock series with the libraries excuse me, our Kids Rock series with the library on Sundays is a great thing with those sets happening a little bit earlier at the 6:15 hour.
Well, I was looking at the movie night schedule, and I will tell you the one I'm super excited about. I am like the biggest Goonies fan, and I can't believe it's a 40th anniversary. It sort of makes me feel old a little bit, but at the same time, wow, what a great movie to watch at Top of the Park. Like, what an awesome movie to see with everyone else, and like just like people that love that movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie lineup, and a lot of great, what we think are great outdoor films to share with friends. And it's funny, every year it feels like we are calling attention to some of the anniversaries of some of these films, and I think that that it really just serves as a reminder of how old that we're getting more than anything else. And but it's a great lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Rebel with a, which I don't think I've ever seen Rebel Without a Cause, so that would be a great opportunity to watch that as well, which is the 70th for that. But I do like that there's always a mix. There's kids movies, there's new movies, there's classic movies that we love, but there's also classic movies that are a generation before us or generations. But I think personally, as I've gotten older, I really appreciate older cinema more than when I was a younger person. And I recently, I had seen Gone with the Wind when I was a kid, and then I watched it again recently. I'm like, wow, this movie's really good. And like, I just don't think that sometimes you don't realize how good something is until you're a little aged yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. There's always a couple of blockbusters as well for people that might have missed it or want to visit it again. And so this year, Wicked closes out our season on Sunday night. 9:30 starts for most movies. The final night will be 10 o'clock because we have a full night. Another great film that's in the lineup this year, I don't know if you saw, was Summer of Soul, which is the documentary that Questlove directed a few years back, and so it's great to have a such a music focused and arts focused documentary in the lineup because it's appropriate with its setting.
Totally. Any spectacles this year?
Yeah, there are two things I would love to share. One is a group called Squonk, and I don't know if you've seen this, but Squonk is this group that is bringing their show Brouhaha, which is this outdoor spectacle that I guess just feels very top of the park because there's great imagery, music, some audience participation, very wacky, very Ann Arbor. And the show ends with the audience helping raise these banners, and there is a giant musical instrument called a squonkordion, and it'll be a ton of fun. It's one of those things that people will get there early to set up chairs for, and other people will wander through randomly and ask and wonder what is going on here. So
Yeah, I think those spectacles are so memorable too. I think that there's something that you talk about with people for years to come when the spectacles that you see at the summer festival.
Yeah, this group is wonderful too. They come from Pittsburgh. So many of our big spectacle, special attraction presentations are international. This one we found close by, and it's a great collective of artists, designers, and musicians that put together these projects. And we've been trying to make it happen in Ann Arbor for a while. So that's one to look forward to on June 20th through the 22nd. It runs twice a night, so there's 6 opportunities to see it. And the other performance in the spectacle world is a circus show, the Keefe sisters from Montreal, and their show Jam Side Up. So a lot of different types of there's many circus disciplines, and we had a big acrobatic show last year with a company called Sir Kick-Ass. We're excited to welcome the Keefe sisters this year. This isn't acrobatic, but this is a lot of clowning, a lot of street performance, very silly and a lot of fun. And it'll set up right in the mall and be a great all ages crowd.
Cool. What about food, beverages? We all know that people want to hang out there for the night.
Yeah, so a great lineup of food vendors. We with some new ones this year. Bo's Bagels, who opened up a shop on South U. I don't know if you've been, but there have been crazy lines out the door with great bagel sandwiches. We'll be joining a couple of new trucks as well, such as Kurt Got Crabs and Simply Spanish. There's a few others I'm sure I'm forgetting, but some longtime favorites and some new ones, a mix of trucks and tents, and so great options for families. We hope we really try and focus on making some infrastructure improvements every year at top of the park to make things more comfortable for folks, and so you'll see some more seating options, picnic tables, benches, places to sit and enjoy, and we hope people see that and appreciate it.
Well, one of the things that I think it's very important to talk about is obviously you guys need volunteers, but also that giving back aspect of it. So, you're going, you can obviously throw a 10 spot or more if you have it, just to keep this thriving, because you guys do so many amazing things and get so many amazing acts to come to Ann Arbor for this period of time that we really should just throw a little bit in that donation box.
Yeah, thanks for queuing that up. 60% of A2SF's annual operating support comes from philanthropy, and 30% um, is individuals. So there's the foundations, there's corporate support, but 30% of our budget comes from individuals, and an important portion of that comes at the event at top of the park. And so yeah, there are those kiosks. There'll be people in yellow shirts asking if you'd like to make a donation, offering you a sticker, and we're incredibly grateful and ask everyone to consider making an investment every time they visit.
So you can pay with a credit card or anything like that too if you don't have cash.
Yeah, people can add a donation to the Ann Arbor Summer Festival at the end of their transaction if you're getting a beverage. That's one opportunity, or buying merchandise. It's another opportunity. And there's also volunteers or employees at a lot of the entry points that are there to answer questions, and they're carrying a device, and they can take credit card payment as well. Um, and so we're grateful for that, for folks that
Yeah, I know. I just think about myself and I'm like, I rarely have cash on me and I hate it. Like, like something like that, a donation. I'm like, do you take something else? Like you just want to make sure that your bases are covered and, whatever it is, if you want to give back, and you should, because it's important to. Do you need volunteers still?
always need volunteers. The link to sign up and volunteer doesn't close. We're grateful for all the people that join us to help give directions and welcome people. So those links are open, and really through this week, there are actually still job applications opening. And so the top of the park is a uh, great first job for a lot of high school and young college students. And so if you're seeing or hearing this, go online, see if the link is still open, and we'd likely welcome you, because it takes a big village to make this thing run every year.
What a cool first job, or any job, where you get to hang out and listen to music and help people. It sounds great.
Yeah, that's central to the pitch, and we hope people take us up on it.
Well, we're almost out of time. Can you tell us when Top of the Park is and why people should frequent the Ann Arbor Summer Festival?
Yeah, we open on June 13th, Friday, June 13th, and we run through Sunday, June 29th. So 15 days this year, dark on Mondays. Activities take place 5 p.m. every day, and 4 p.m. On Sundays. And you should come because there's a lot of reasons, but the Ann Arbor Summer Festival, top of the park, makes the community that we live in more livable, and it's a great expression of our community, and we hope that people come out and enjoy themselves.
Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you for all you do. I know this is a hard job to get these people to come here, and you work really hard all year to make this happen for all of us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate everything you do, and we'll see you soon.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.